Were you excited there?
I was excited and nervous all together. I wasn't real thrilled about the plane ride. But that was up in the plane, and it was gorgeous. It was wonderful. And then that was the airport in Honduras, and I was just trying to... That was after we went through customs and everything. So they actually got stuck in customs with a couple of our bags, and they go through it, and I don't know, I think they charged us $100 for some of the stuff we had in there.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, they had little gifts for the
right.
teachers and stuff, bracelets and things, and they charged us tax on it or something.
Oh,
that's the mission house, and Henry and Cindy's backyard. Then it goes down into their, they have an orchard and coffee field, and that's their vehicles. And their shed, their storage shed. I'm just trying to get a feel for everything around there. And that's their house, and then the mission house.
That's where they have the horses, huh?
Yeah, the horses are back there, and
chickens
and goats, and they have rabbits back there, and then they have some dogs too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So their coffee beans down there?
That's their coffee beans. And that is the house that they did the concrete floor on. And I'm not sure what the couple's name was, but it was a couple that they've ministered to in a Bible study, and that they did their wedding. And I forget how many kids they had too, but
all the houses about the same, aren't they?
they're all just about the same. They are. That's the outside.
These are the family's total housing possessions. Everything from inside their house.
Running water. They go down. Most of them don't have running water. They go down to a creek and bring water up, or do their laundry in the creek. And that's just showing the inside of the house before the concrete. And that's it. I mean, that's looks like a shed, but that's their actual house.
Some people wouldn't make their dogs stay in that.
I know it.
So they poured a cement floor.
Poured a cement floor, and they just did one room this time. They had 2 rooms, but we only did one at this time, and they'll do the second one at another time. But their whole house is just 2 rooms.
Yeah, what is this?
This is, this is one of the schools we went to minister at. And that's the actual school and the classroom right there. Bunch of kids. They got to take a break while we set everything up to do our program. We also did our medical and dental missions at this school, but not in that building. We did it in that little one right there where they're pulling the chairs out there. It's where we did the medical and dental. And then they did the life ministry outside in chairs. And that's just that's the playground of the school, if you could call it that.
Wow.
Then you can see the outhouses back there, and that's what the kids use when they need to go to the bathroom.
Look like chicken houses, didn't they?
It does. And that's a bunch of the kids, and it's 1st grade through 6th grade. And those were the only buildings of that whole school, so that kind of shows you how tight a fit they have in classrooms. We played games with them and sang songs and had puppet show.
You in there doing that?
I wasn't in there doing that at that time. I was over in the other room setting up for the medical missions. So trying to get everything organized and set up over there. And that's the setup for the dental. They laid out their paper towels and laid out their equipment for the dental on top of it in that little classroom. And they did the dental in that corner, and then we did the medical in the other corner. That little room there.
Big classroom.
Yeah. That was our pharmacy. That's where we had those little blue buckets. There is what we had our medicines in that we gave out. And that's me, and that's a doctor, and I forget her name. And then they had 2 dentists, and they just numbed their teeth and from lidocaine that we got donated and pulled them right there. Not a sterile environment at all.
Both dentists were Honduran?
Yes, both dentists were Hondurans. One is practicing, the other one just got her license, but she didn't have the money for equipment to start her business, so she's not currently working.
And who is this?
That is Sarah, and she was a translator for us. We had 2 translators on our team, and Sarah was one, and Noelia was the other. And they're young girls that they were out of school for some reason that week, and so they volunteered to be translators for us. Well, I don't guess they volunteered; they got paid for it, but they were great. They were a lot of fun.
Who's the girl in the yellow?
That's Christy, and she is the children's pastor or children's pastor wife. Her and her husband both
Tony?
Tony at CLC.
His wife?
Yes.
What is she doing there?
She is holding up a sign, and she was telling the kids about sin, and she showed the white piece of paper and how clean it was, and then when you put sin on it, and with each sin, how it dirties your heart and dirties your life, and then she is going to show what happens when you ask God to come into your life and what He does to your sins. She lit it, and it burns all the paper up. And it's a special kind of paper, so there's absolutely no ashes or no trace whatsoever of that paper anywhere. And she was conveying to them that that's what happens when Jesus forgives you and you accept Him into your heart. He remembers your sins no more. They're totally gone.
Wow. A lot of them got saved that day, huh?
Yeah, they had a lot. We did a prayer at the end of every session and allowed them to ask God into their hearts. And everybody prayed the prayer, and I have no idea, but, the number of ones that were truly saved. But I do believe we planted a seed in every heart there. They're so open and so free there, too. I mean, we couldn't go into a school here with a Christian program for anything, but they welcomed us with open arms. They were so excited about us coming every school we went to.
That's great.
Yeah, it was wonderful. We went to 3 different schools there. Actually, I guess we went to 2 different schools, and one of them we went to 2 different days because it was big enough that we did 1st through 3rd grade one day and 4th, 5th, and 6th the second day.
So some of these people are in 6th grade, and they're not going to be able to go back unless they have someone pay for them?
Right. If the government pays through to the 6th grade, and but they only pay for the teachers. They don't buy books or supplies or anything like that. There's 1 set of books per classroom, and there's up to 42 kids in a classroom. And so what they do is they just take notes. They use that chalkboard a lot. Or the teachers do to teach, and then the kids write on their paper. But after 6th grade, the government doesn't pay for school at all. So if anybody wants to go to school after the 6th grade, the parents have to pay for them to go to high school.
that's $350 a year?
It's $350 a year. And that's their books and supplies.
Is that them staying somewhere?
You know, I'm not really sure if that counts their tuition if they're from out of town income or not.
I was thinking Henry and Cindy said they had to pay like $70 a month.
Yeah, they pay extra to have them housed in town. So I'm really thinking the $350 is strictly for kids that are in town and that walk to school and walk back home.
Yeah. So how much did they pay? Did they tell you how much they paid?
No, they mentioned it, but I don't remember. I just know that if they're from out of town, they have to pay somebody to house them in town while they're there during the week, and then they go home on the weekends. So. And I know that they also buy their clothes and uniforms and all that and that's extra.
I was thinking they said it cost us $75 a month for everything.
That sounds about right. And that's where they're praying the prayer at the end of the program.
Yeah.
And they had done things all throughout that program, teaching them about Jesus and teaching them about how to be saved and how God forgives. And we sang Spanish songs, Christian songs in Spanish, and then the Bible verses that we taught them we did in Spanish. And the puppet show was done in Spanish. So basically what we had to have interpreted is just our own individual parts there.
What is it?
This is another little school that we went to, and they were so excited that we came and put on a program for them that the second day we came back, they put on a program for us, and they dressed up in different costumes, and their cultural costumes are different for different dances and things that they have there in their culture, and they performed for us.
They were cute.
Oh, they were so cute. It was so awesome to watch too. Are you laughing at me?
Oh, so cute, just in there trying to get everybody's picture.
Oh, I know it. And those two weren't the only ones in the dance. They just came in first, and we thought they were the only ones going to do it. But they looked so cute in their little outfits, and like the neatest little couple, you know. And so we were all trying to get their pictures, and
yeah,
we were just truly blessed to watch them.
And that's Cindy.
That's Cindy, and then that's Connie right there.
Who's that?
That is Denise. Or is that Missy? I think that's Missy.
So Cindy's on the left.
Yeah, Cindy's on the left.
What are they explaining there?
They're explaining about the gifts that we brought for them. The women got, the teachers, we brought all the teachers gifts. The women got a little treasure box with a scripture written on the outside of it. There were different scriptures. On the inside we put a little bracelet, a charm bracelet with different, like angel and fish, and we were explaining all the different things on that. Then the men got watches. And it was just a token of our appreciation to tell them that we knew that how important they were to the Honduran culture and to Honduran children, that they were implanting vision and dreams and hope into these kids' lives, and we just wanted to let them know that they were appreciated and how important they were.
Yeah.
And that's Henry in the corner over there on the left. You can see him every once in a while pop up on the screen.
Henry and Cindy, your host missionaries?
Yes, Henry and Cindy are the host missionaries, and they that was their home and their mission house that I was showing you earlier.
That's Denise again?
That was Christy.
Christy.
Yeah.
This must be in the high school.
Actually, no. We don't have the high school. I mean, no. Actually, that was the 6th grade class. I guess the 4th, 5th, and 6th grade class.
Just a better funded area.
Yeah.
They were so excited to get that stuff.
They were. They were very excited to get it. They were real excited to have us there. They were very open to us coming, and this is our women's conference that we did on Saturday. We had a brunch, so we prepared all different kind of food for them, and we were serving it up there. And then we all ate together, and after we ate, then we had a time of worship. We did worship songs. I gave my testimony, and one of the other ladies in our group gave her testimony. And then several women that are natives of Honduras, they gave their testimony after ours. It was quite a blessing.
This is in the...
This is in the mission house, and it's not quite finished, but they're working on it.
Well, it's great they have a place.
Yeah, they have a lot of mission teams come down, and they're trying to have more and more. And they come down, and they have been housing, and we stayed in their house, in Cindy and Henry's home. And they have some really large groups come down, too. So that's why they had the mission house built, so that it's kind of like a dormitory. It's going to have a full kitchen and 2 bathrooms. It's upstairs and downstairs, and that way the mission teams can stay there, and Henry and Cindy can hopefully have a little more privacy in their home. That provides more room and open space for the teams that come down.
Yeah. Who's passing the food out there?
That is, I'm not sure if that's William or Pedro. I always get them mixed up, but William and Pedro are both young men that Henry and Cindy have mentored into to be missionaries, and taught them. They're actually going to Africa to start their own missions based. This is one of the homes we went to visit, and one of the young girls here works for Henry and Cindy part-time. She, right there, and I can't tell you her name, but she works for them part-time and does housework and things like that around when they have teams and things there. But they're putting her through school. They're putting her to school to be a seamstress, to sew. That's what she wanted to do, and she's been in that for just a little bit, and she's loving it and doing really well. And that was her little girl she had a hold of. She's a single mother, and she lives in this house with her parents and siblings.
Yeah. What's this on the wall?
That is a Bible verse that we taught some of the kids at their school, and one of the little girls lives there, and she brought it home and pinned it up. She was so proud of her Bible verse. So
great. What happened to the little boy in the...
He actually was born healthy, they said, but at some point had to have a blood transfusion, and the blood transfusion went bad, and it severely crippled him and disabled him. But they say he's doing better than the doctors ever thought he would. And I don't remember how old he was either, but he was a cute little thing. I was handing out gifts there. I brought some necklaces for the girls and little balls for the boys. And he just loved that ball. He loved throwing it and letting us catch it and pick it up and give it back to him. And that wheelchair was donated to him by one of the teams that had been down before. They had seen him and he didn't have one, and so they got it and got it donated to him.
Well, he was having fun.
He was having a blast, and we had a lot of fun playing with him. He had the most gorgeous smile.
Everybody got in the act.
Yeah, we were all helping. This is the inside of their home. Everybody was great to just let us come in and tour and look. And this is the bedroom, and there are 3 beds in there, and then the baby. The baby sleeps in the hammock. That's their baby cribs there. I saw several little babies sleeping in hammocks. Yeah.
And how old is this one?
Oh, I'm thinking they said about 9 months old.
Yeah. Well, he seems to be comfortable.
He was sleeping good, and he didn't care that he had a house full of people. It didn't bother him in the least. That's their window, and if you'll see, they don't have glass or anything. They actually, here they have a wood shutter that they shut there, and that locks it up. But most houses have like wire, chicken wire or something over top of them. But there are 3 people that sleep in there, like I say. That's their bedroom, and then you can see they have their little pictures over each bed set up. I wish they'd get a little higher and you could see the roof a little bit and see that the roof over these concrete walls, there's holes all in there. Of course, there's no insulation, obviously, and I mean, I don't know. I just don't know how they do it in the winter and in the summer.
Well, it doesn't get like freezing there, does it?
You know, I don't really know what the temperatures do, but I don't think it gets as cold there as it does here, but it's up in the mountains, so it gets pretty cold.
Yeah. Was it cold when you were there?
I got chilly one night. Other than that, we picked a perfect week to go. The weather was just fantastic. That's the backyard, and that's their little shed back there, and their pig, and the pigs just kind of run wild. That's their kitchen. Their stove right there that they cook on.
Stove looks about the same as the last one.
Yeah, all the stoves in all the houses look the same to me. Every one we went to.
Well, the last one was like outside. It was the same design.
Yeah. Yeah, there were several houses that their cook stoves were on the outside of the house. But you can see at the top of that picture, you can see the holes between the walls and the roof, and just know that if it snows or rains or if it's really hot, that's just the way it is there.
They definitely have ventilation.
Yeah.
I guess that's one of the reasons why they were cementing the floors.
Yeah, it helps a little bit with that. And
so they got a grain mill there, a hand mill.
oh, I didn't even notice
To
it.
mash
Yeah,
the corn.
mash the corn up, and yeah.
We think they're Native American antiques or something, and they're actually using it.
Use them every day to prepare their food.
Crush their corn in the mill. So do they buy food, or how's that work down there?
They have most of them, like they had a big garden out in the back, but they also have a market in town that they buy from, and there's a grocery store in town that people buy stuff from. But if you notice, their pig was around in their backyard, and so they have a lot of their own food right there.
So they grow their own corn and then mash it up and make their own tortillas and stuff.
Right.
Yeah, you can see some of the holes in the ceilings.
This is actually one of the nicer homes that we saw while we were there.
Even it compared to the houses here, even the worst houses here,
Oh yeah.
not very good.
We went in one house that actually had electricity and running water, and that house still wasn't comparable to some of our worst here.
I guess that's a cornfield.
Yeah. The clothesline, of course they hang everything out, and then I think, I'm not sure if that's the outhouse or if that was the shed.
The chicken coop.
Yes, that's the chicken coop. There's the outhouse.
Oh gosh. Is that a shower?
Yes, that is where they take their showers.
And that cement thing there was, oh, look at that road.
Yeah, that's the road up in the mountain there. It's a beautiful country. Absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
This was the orphanage. And the orphanage is run by a couple that are from the United States, and they're missionaries, and they went there and they opened up the orphanage, and they teach all their children there to speak English. So everybody there, unless they're just really new, are pretty fluent in English. They take really good care of their girls, but it's all girls. There are no boys there at all. And they're girls that have been taken away. The government has went into their homes for some reason or another and taken the children out of the home, and then they go to this orphanage.
She's awfully cute.
She is very cute.
Yay, that was good.
This is another home we went to visit, and the lady that lives in this home, both of her children, Henry and Cindy, are supporting to go to school. One's going to college. He's going to forestry school, and the other one's going to high school.
Wow.
And she has a loom in her living room, and that is how she makes money that she makes to buy food and everything with. I don't know if she's a widow or if she's just single. I'm not sure what the story was on that. This is the inside of their house.
So this is actually her living room?
This is actually her living room. Actually, her living room and her bedroom, because her bed is right there behind us. We're standing in front of her bed, and then the loom is right there.
That pretty much takes up the whole house.
Oh yeah, pretty much the whole thing. She does gorgeous work though. She makes purses and scarves and a few other things. I'm not exactly sure what, but she showed us some of it. It's very good.
How much does it cost her to make something? How much does she sell it for?
You know, she told us all that, but I don't remember how much it was. It's such a difference between American money and Honduran money, but it wasn't. It's a little of nothing of what she sells it for. It was actually a lot cheaper there than what you'd buy it here, the same thing, you know.
Yeah. What's that? Doesn't even look usable. What is
that is what you stretch the material out on before you put it on the loom.
Why would you do that?
You're asking the wrong person. I'm so sorry.
That's okay. And that's her on the right?
Yes.
And this is her, the interpreter?
Right. That's Sarah, the interpreter there.
On the left?
On the left. You can do different colors. She had all kinds of colors of stuff. And I think I'm thinking she sells 2 to 3 items that pays for one thing of yarn or whatever.
One spindle?
Yeah, one, yeah.
Looks like that spindle would go a ways, but maybe not.
It does. It goes a little ways.
And her
And
stove
that's her kitchen and her stove, yeah.
was just like the other two. Looks like the top of a barrel, 50-gallon drum that they're using for the top of the stove.
That's her doorway. And I never did see a door, so I'm thinking she doesn't have any windows or any doors on that. They're just openings.
And what is that, her kitchen? Or
That's
what?
her kitchen. And that's her garden. She has a garden outside. It was just beautiful.
She was pretty.
Yeah, it was. Her little cat.
Is that where they wash their clothes?
Yes.
Now, does she have running water?
Not inside, but I'm not sure about outside, if she had it running or if she had to go carry it in.
Couldn't see whether there was a spigot there or not.
Yeah. I know she didn't have it inside.
That doesn't even look like her loom. It looks like just a couple boards strapped together.
See, there's her bed behind it. She had, her house was 3 rooms. It was that room, then this room, and then a bedroom. Another bedroom, I guess, for the kids. And that's her chair, you know, just their furniture every day. And this is the beautiful Honduran sunset.
It sure is clear.
Oh, it was so bright. It was so gorgeous.
This was on Saturday before you came back?
And this is on Saturday. And then this is Sunday. It is such a long drive from Henry and Cindy's house to the airport that they take their teens the day before. They take them halfway and they stay at the beach all night, and then the next day they come home. And they do that for 2 reasons. One is because they've had everything in the world happen on that 4.5-hour drive from their house to the airport, and there's only 2 flights a week that go out, so you know you can't be missing your planes. Anything from flat tires to they've had strikes where people couldn't get across the bridge, and so this gets us there closer where they don't have to worry about if we're delayed. We still have time to get to our flight on time. Yeah. But also it's a time to just unwind and you know, you've been there all week and you've seen so much and you've absorbed so muthe and then you just go straight back home and you don't have time to process and
right.
reflect. And so that's the probably the main reason they do the beach the day before.